Welcome to fairy tales you shouldn't read, the stories that whisper something familiar, then lead you somewhere strange. Here, heroes don't always make the right choice. Goodness gets tired, and magic comes with a twist. Get comfortable. It's time to begin. Cloudlet and his adventure. High, high above the earth, where planes fear to fly without a hairdo, where the wind learns to sing and the sun plays with its rays, there exists the Cloud School. Yes, a school for clouds. Here, clouds learn how to drizzle properly, how to thunder properly, how to surprise picnics, and generally, how to be a serious part of the weather system. In the Moisturizing the Population 101 class sat a small fluffy puffball, looking like a ball of cotton candy. His name was Cloudlet, unofficially, because officially, Drop Series 324, which sounded more like a technical manual than a name. "All right, class, let's review," rang out the voice of the strict thundercloud, who taught the subject Rain Your Honor. What do we do when the forecast shows precipitation? We drizzle, the clouds shouted in unison. And how do we drizzle? According to temperature range and wind conditions, even louder. And what if someone wants to shimmer in colours and dance with the sun? Cloudlet asked timidly. Silence fell. So still, even the lightning didn't flash. The thundercloud frowned. Colours, you say? Dancing, that's inappropriate cloud conduct. Everything clear. Rain, hail, snow. Rainbows are optional extras, and anyway, they're made by a special section. Cloudlet drooped a bit. He felt ashamed and a bit cramped in his form. After class, the older clouds whispered, "He doesn't drizzle, he dreams." With that attitude, he won't even qualify for fog. Cloudlet stood at the edge of a cumulus bench and looked down. Earth seemed far and noisy. Someone was laughing, playing a violin, dancing with an umbrella. He dreamed of giving not just rain, but something beautiful. "I don't want to just drizzle," he whispered. "I want to glow." Just then, a windy old cloud passed by who had once seen the Indian monsoon and now believed in nothing. She looked at Cloudlet and muttered, "Well, if you really want to. Just don't forget, rainbows don't happen without rain." But Cloudlet didn't hear her. He was thinking about colours, about light, and whether it was possible to remain a cloud and still be something else. After a failed class called Dripping with Purpose, Cloudlet tried his best to be proper. He earnestly practiced falling in soft drops at a 45-degree angle as required by cloud standards. He studied the table of droplet intensities and even wrote essays in thunder writing. Though he always got distracted by the shapes of lightning. They looked more like comet tails to him than warnings. But it got harder every day. "Drizzle," barked the strict thundercloud. "Drizzling," cried Cloudlet. And nothing. Not a drop. Not even a mist. His body was fluffy, white, almost shiny, but dry. "He has cloud dysfunction," grumbled the elder clouds. "He needs a condensation booster," others shouted. Cloudlet silently slipped away from training and hid among the cumulus towers. "Maybe something's wrong with me," he whispered to the wind. "Nah, you're just not a drizzler," the wind replied. "Happens. Maybe I'm not even a cloud." "You're a cloud, just with personality," murmured an old semi-transparent foggy lady no one listened to because she spoke without thunder. The next day, he was given a real assignment: moisten the field before a big soccer match. All the clouds gathered to see if Cloudlet would finally become useful. Position: above the field. 3, 2, 1. Drizzle. And then, Cloudlet didn't drizzle. He glowed. Not brightly, just a gentle shimmer. Colours swirled within him, pale but real. Spectators in the stadium gasped. "Wow, what is that? Is that a cloud camera? Is this a filter? An ad? It's beautiful." But the Cloud School's control tower was horrified. Shame! He was supposed to dampen the field, not start a musical. "He's dangerous. One more step and he'll be drawing suns in the sky. Cloudlet was pulled from duty with an official note. Unfit for precipitation. Status under review. That night he lay alone on his fluffy sky bed and stared at the stars. If I can't drizzle, maybe I can do something else. But what? He wasn't accepted into Thunder Club, didn't qualify for Snow Squad. Even foggy circles looked down on him. Only a small sunbeam, lingering in the evening sky, whispered, "I like you. You reflect me, in your own way." And Cloudlet smiled, for the first time in days. Next morning, Cloudlet didn't show up for assignment. "Has anyone seen that pearl-white troublemaker?" grumbled the thundercloud, flipping through the drizzler list. "He's vanished from the sky again," announced the wind chief. "How did he escape the forecast?" Meanwhile, Cloudlet was breezing over the city, hidden behind a construction crane. He had decided he would no longer try to be rain. He was born with a peachy glow and a shape like soft-serve ice cream. He had his own path. "If I can't be like everyone else, I'll just be me," he said and floated freely. He drifted over a beach, hovering above children in a sandbox. "Mom, look, a heart cloud," cried a girl in a sun hat. "Nah, it's ice cream," argued a boy with a bucket. "It's a winged panda," shouted a third, amazed. Cloudlet was so happy he twirled, changed shape, shimmered. Kids applauded. One even drew him in the sand. At sunset, he hovered beside the sun. "Glad you're here," said the sun. "You make the sunset calmer. You don't mind that I'm like this?" "In centuries, I've seen many clouds, stern, standard, storm-approved, but ones like you change the sky." Those words gave Cloudlet wings. The next day, he decided to try being a rainbow. He floated above a river, sought sunlight, remembered everything he'd learned about moisture, refraction, rays. And then, it happened. As he passed over the water, the sun peeked from behind a hill and gently touched his edge. Cloudlet shivered from the warmth. "Oops, did I burn you?" asked the sun. "No, it's nice. I'm just not used to it. You're beautiful today, gentle, transparent, almost glowing." And then it happened. A ray passed through him, and on the sky, just a bit to the side, a rainbow appeared. Not from him, not bursting or flashing, just there. Because he was exactly as he was, soft, light, open to the sun. "What's this?" whispered Cloudlet. "It's you," smiled the sun. "When a cloud stops fighting itself, it creates beauty." On Earth, people stopped and looked up. Some took pictures, some cried, some smiled and said, "Look, a rainbow. No rain, like magic." And Cloudlet understood. To decorate the sky, you don't need to be a storm. You just need to be yourself. The day after the rainbow appeared, the sky buzzed like a kettle about to boil. "What's this nonsense?" growled Great Grozen, the oldest storm. "He made a rainbow without rain," snapped Standard Cloud, who always carried exactly 300 millimeters of drizzle, and not a drop more. "Where's the thunder? The lightning? The atmospheric punch?" Raged a booming patrol cloud. In the middle stood Cloudlet, slightly translucent, sun-kissed, glowing gently. "I didn't do anything bad," he said. "I didn't ruin the weather, I just didn't become rain." Silence fell. Such honesty wasn't expected from someone so soft. "You broke the system," muttered Standard Cloud. "I decorated it," replied Cloudlet calmly. "Rainbow isn't a cloud's mission," roared Groson. "Maybe clouds can choose," whispered a greyish, unnoticeable cloud from the edge. "I've spent my life softly tapping on windows. Maybe now I want to try glowing." Someone coughed, someone looked away, but something shifted. There was no punishment, no thunder, just silence. Then, a light drizzle. Cloudlet dropped one single raindrop, just because he wanted to. Next morning, 2 rainbows appeared, then 3. Cloudlet didn't become a leader, didn't get a medal for atmospheric innovation. He just stayed himself and stopped being ashamed. When other clouds asked what to do if they wanted to be more than just rain, he answered, "Try glowing from the inside." Maybe that's exactly what the sky's been waiting for. Where clouds shine and rain isn't an obligation. Since then, whenever a rainbow appeared above the city, some grown-up would mutter, "Oh, another atmospheric anomaly." And somewhere nearby, a child would raise their head and say, "Look, it's cloudlet, playing with the sun again." And every time a cloud doubted if it was cloudy enough to fulfill its duty, they'd remember that little, slightly quirky but incredibly happy cloudlet who didn't become a storm, because glowing from the inside suited him more. Even mighty Grozon occasionally allowed a gentle blush on his edges, as if by accident, as if just from the light. Not everyone is meant to be rain. Not everyone needs to thunder or drip properly. Sometimes the greatest courage isn't in meeting expectations, but in choosing yourself. And even if the world thinks you're not the cloud you should be, if you're the one who brings light after the storm, then maybe you were exactly what the sky needed. And no forecast could have predicted that. That's it for today. The tale was a little too strange, a little too close to the truth. But you know, every story dreams of being read. And maybe you were meant to hear this one. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to the podcast, and drop a comment. Somewhere out there, another story is waiting, and it can't wait to be heard.